Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's video of Living with Intention. My name is Kieran and this video is going to be talking about how a zero waste month changed my life. I'm going to be talking about what a zero waste month is, why I did it, the lessons I learned from it, and also the big change that happened that I think has really led me to where I am today, and I can't wait to share that with you. So let's dive in. Back in October 2017, I did a zero waste challenge where I tried to collect all the waste that I produced that would go to landfill. I still recycled, I still composted my food, but I just collected everything that would end up in landfill eventually. And this is what I produced. This jar is what I ended up with, which is pretty cool. I don't know why I still have it 2 years later. Probably need to get rid of it. It's good for this video, but it might have to be on the way out afterwards. Now, the reason I did this was because I wanted to become more connected with the waste I was producing and also be active in trying to reduce it. And it taught me a lot of lessons, so that's why I want to be here to share it with you today and maybe encourage you to take a look at trying it yourself. So what it started off teaching me was that I needed to be more conscious with my consumption habits. So no longer can I just grab something on the go, plastic bottle, packet of crisps, sandwich. I had to be really intentional in the things I was buying to make sure that the packaging wasn't going to go to landfill, and if I could help it, look for something that would be package free. And so this wasn't just in, food, this was in clothing, it was in household products, it was just in everything that I was doing. And that was really good for just creating a general awareness about plastic and where it was coming from. It also made me realize that I need to be organized and have my Tupperware, cutlery, tote bag, flask, all of that with me to make sure that I could avoid as much packaging as possible. I also need to organize my meals and cook bulk so that I could have lunch and dinner package free myself. And obviously I had the time available to do this, so that was really beneficial. What it also helped with was time management. I realized that I had to try and carve out an hour of my weekend to get to a farmer's market nearby. I was lucky at the time there was one nearby, and there was also a zero waste store about 45 minutes away. I didn't really go to it much, but the option was there if I wanted it to be. And the farmer's market was really useful because I could get my fruit and veg unpackaged, I could get nuts, I could get bread, I could get all these sorts of things, and that was really beneficial for me and reducing my waste, and made me realize that you have to create time sometimes to be able to get that. And if you don't have time to, maybe look online at something like the Zero Waste Club. That's a really awesome idea where you can get package free items delivered to you, which is really, really cool. But I think one of the biggest things that this created for me is that it made me aware that my actions had consequences. I was starting to relate all the packaging that was out there and the packaging that I've been consuming to the videos I was seeing on YouTube, on Facebook, to the plastic I'd seen on the beaches of places I'd been. And that connection between the actions I was taking and the consequences was really powerful, and it became my driver for reducing the plastic I consumed, because I didn't want to contribute to that. And where I could help it, it wouldn't take much more effort for me to avoid those things. And this comes on to the really big lesson, the life lesson, the catalyst to my whole journey probably. So recognizing that my actions had consequences allowed me to connect the dots, not just in plastic, but in everything. So it made me look into the food I was eating, where I was getting my clothes from, the transport I was taking. Every aspect of my life I started to analyze where I could. And so I started to look and realize whether the actions I was taking in my life were having mainly positive consequences or positive impact. And so that helped on my journey towards reducing my meat consumption, going vegetarian and eventually vegan, to reducing the amount I traveled, to the way I buy clothes, to the products I use every day in my life. And yeah, it was just such a big impact. It was such a big realization. And this is the power of a zero waste challenge for me. It is that it creates that connection between your actions and your consequences. And when you're actively trying to reduce the negative impact of something, and you can then expand that to more things, you can have an even bigger impact on a personal level, which is amazing. And also then you can start getting involved in local actions or larger actions of the things that you are passionate in, if you then expand your circle further. in terms of the things you're interested in. And if this sounds like something you want to experience, something you're interested in, why not come join the community doing a Minimise March this year. It is a month where you collect all the waste you produce and you try and cut out as much of the single-use plastic as possible. Now, like I said, this can be so beneficial. It can really start to awaken us to what is happening and what is going on with the things we are consuming, and it makes us actively try and reduce the amount of plastic and the amount of materials we are consuming in that way. The idea behind it isn't to be perfect. None of us can be perfect in zero waste. It's impossible because we live in a system that is inherently wasteful, where plastic is everywhere, but we can all try and do our bit. And yes, it isn't just on individuals to do this change, it is on companies as well, but this challenge is to create power and bring it back to us and start looking at our own actions, because change starts with us. And if we look at just plastics and then are able to expand our vision beyond that to, affect further parts of our lives and have a more positive impact, that is incredible. But that is it from me. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being a part of the Living with Intention movement. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, hit subscribe. I do these videos pretty much weekly, and I also talk about all this sort of stuff on my Instagram, so go check that out as well if you are interested. We can all live more intentional lives, and that is what this series is about. I hope you have an amazing week, and I hope to see you here in the next video. Thank you so much, and come join us over on Instagram for Minimise March. It will be amazing, and I would love to know what you think about it, and yeah, see your experience. So let me know, use the hashtag Minimise March, tag me, and let's continue to make our positive impact larger. Have an amazing week.